I was groomed twice. The women have to have children at a certain age and therefore they have to get married and have to be with someone before that age.
Mas needy nga ang lalaki sa babae, yan ang totoo.
Itong mga batang to, uhugin pa sila, papatintero pa sila. Look at these kids. Look at them.
Me.
Last ako kasi Andrew Tate ate sasabihin ko dito. Anong gagawin ko?
Hey, okay lang. I got you guys. Welcome back to the show. This is POV or Point of View, where the three of us discuss our different or sometimes the same points of view. But we're doing this with you guys, so that means you get to join us too. That's right.
Poet, you don't know it.
I'm so good.
Galing.
Yes,
I love
thank you.
it.
My name is Inka Magnaye.
My name is Aryn Cristobal.
I am attorney Anselmo.
Yes.
And welcome back
to Point of View.
Yes,
so, how'd you guys like episode 2? People were like, on TikTok lalo na, no?
Yeah. That was parang on YouTube, it's more constructive comments.
And people join the conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I feel like on the comments on TikTok, we're just like, mwah.
Mali kayo.
So iba talaga yung tao per social media.
Correct.
Iba
That's true.
yung grupo.
That's
So
true.
whatever appeal sa TikTok, baka hindi siya nag-appeal sa ibang social media. So baka andun yung galit. Na-experience di ba sa content niyo?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Ibang-iba talaga.
Yeah.
So I wonder how they're going to react to this
Yes,
episode. I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
If you were single, kasi lahat tayo may jowa. We're all. So if you guys were single,
Yes.
including me, would you date someone 5 years older or 5 years younger than you? Or I will follow up with that. What's your range?
Yeah.
Yun.
Ikaw.
Ako muna?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I've dated both.
You've dated both?
My current boyfriend is 4 years younger than me. The one before him, also 4 years younger.
Ah, okay.
But before that, everyone was much older, 7 years and above. Yung highest was 17. Yeah.
17.
That's
17
That's a whole
years.
almost adult between you guys.
Opo.
What was that like?
As in, I was born in 86. Nag-graduate siya ng high school.
69. 69.
Yes.
Sabi ng magulang ko yan. Ako.
Okay. Yes po.
Okay.
Ikaw.
17 years kasi age gap namin ng magulang ko.
Oh, that's right. We learned this.
Okay. Ako naman, I'm dating someone older than me.
Yeah.
4 years.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, getting married to someone older than
Yeah.
me.
Ay, congrats
So,
nga pala.
I do it. Ngayon, no, based lang sa experience ko, no, mas gusto ko yung older. Mas gusto ko yung older. Kasi parang ang experience ko, pag older, of course, hindi naman to hard and fast rule, no? May iba-iba naman yan. Mas napansin ko, mas stable yung
totoo naman.
relationship.
Interesting.
Kasi parang hindi erratic, so now I can focus on what I want to do sa buhay ko.
Wow.
Diba? Kasi syempre, goal-oriented ka, mahirap kapag may distraction lagi. You get distracted from what you want.
Yeah.
Pag mas matanda, well, history shows, para sa akin lang naman, na
Your history.
my history. I don't know about your history. But my history, okay yung mas may edad. Siyempre, di naman sobrang malayo edad. Di ba? Baka naman magkaroon na kayo ng ibang pananaw sa buhay. Pero mas matanda, mas okay for
Yung
me.
mga dinate mo dati, older, younger?
May younger, may same age. Pero pinaka-okay sa akin yung older. Yeah.
That's what my boyfriend told me also. Sabi niya, parang mas stable daw siya. Ako. Siya.
Sino ba talaga?
Third person. My boyfriend Matt told me that for some reason, when he dates someone older,
Yes.
or when he dates someone younger, parang mas magulo.
Yun.
Mas,
Totoo yan.
Parang, he says not mature enough. Because I think depende rin sa guy. There are men who are too immature for their age and also mature for their age. So I think it just depends on who you are.
And I think it's also based on what you're looking for. Because if you're not looking for a mature, long relationship, you will date someone younger or the same age. Because you're not looking to settle down at any time.
But the funny thing is, they say that women mature faster than men, right?
Yep.
Which is sometimes the excuse that these guys use when they date younger women. And we'll get to that later. But the funny thing is, when I was dating someone who was kind of like my age, older than me, I felt like I was mommy. And I ended up like in the mothering role.
Okay.
But when I started dating my boyfriend, who is, I didn't say pala, he's 6 years younger than me.
Okay.
When I started dating him, I felt like I was taken care of. I felt like he was Zari. I felt like he was in control.
Okay.
He knew what he wanted, and he would guide me. He does guide me respectfully while understanding that I'm his partner.
Okay.
And why is it like that? If I don't know.
Supposedly, girls are supposed to mature faster.
Okay.
Like, why is it like that? That's very interesting.
How about in your case? Are you the mother? The mommy?
Hindi
In your
naman.
relationship?
I feel like, well, this is what he tells me.
Okay.
Because I am older and
Okay.
I am in a place in my life na stable na rin ako with my career
Okay.
and everything is going up.
Okay.
I serve as an inspiration.
Oh,
Okay.
that's what Matt told me too.
Yan.
Okay.
Yeah, he says parang it's easier for him to take advice from me just because he knows that I'm older and he recognizes that I've gone through.
Okay.
Do you feel the same?
Well, in my case, ako kasi I like being taken care of.
Yan.
Yun ang totoo.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, yes.
everyone naman,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
So, in the relationship, parang mother. Yun yung
Gets,
point niya.
gets.
Okay.
But give or take naman diba?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you
Yes.
take care of her also.
Yeah. Well, ako kasi,
Or
by
do
the way,
you?
may love language. May love language kasi, di ba? Yung may acts
Yeah.
of service, mga ganyan.
Oh yeah, that's a good that's a
Okay.
good thing to get into.
Sa akin kasi, ang love language ko talaga, as a guy, syempre, I want to be able to provide. Di ba?
Right,
A good
yeah.
life sa magiging anak. kung
Acts of service.
Yes.
Yeah.
And syempre, yung anong tawag doon sa words of affirmation,
Yes.
mga tawag doon.
Tama,
Yan.
tama, tama.
Yun ang gusto. Mga lalaki needy din. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Needy din talaga, no?
Totoo.
Mas needy nga ang lalaki sa babae. Yan ang totoo. Okay?
Well.
Yan ang totoo. Para sa akin. Siya rin naman ganun. Acts of service. Ayan. Pero totoo yun, guys.
Hindi kasi may nakita akong comment on YouTube. May guy na nagko-comment, "This is a girls podcast. This is a girls
I
podcast."
saw that.
Hindi ganun. Hindi ganun. Basta sa akin, totoo yun. But makikita nyo, ang mga lalaki, pag, laging nagkakaroon ng bagong partner. Anyway. Kaya mga babae, pag nawalan man, mas willing silang mag-stay single.
That's
So,
true.
sa akin lang,
It's
in my
true.
experience, nakita ko din,
That's
mas
true.
kailangan ng lalaki ng companions. And that's fine.
Oh
Ganun
my
talaga.
gosh. Yeah, no, you know what? Now that you mention it, that's true. Like for girls, I think I would be okay if I don't want to break up, babe. That's not the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
All right. I love you. But what I'm saying is like women are more likely to be okay being single and then just like having a ton of cats or something like that. Look at Enya. She lives in a freaking castle. You know Enya, right?
Yeah.
Who
Only if you
can
want
say-
to.
Yeah.
Different song. Pero yes.
But, I'm not familiar.
Not familiar.
Not familiar.
I'm sure if we play a song, you'd be able to.
Very Lord of the Rings ang kanyang...
Actually, she
Okay.
did the Lord of the
Ayun
Rings,
na nga.
Okay.
soundtrack.
Okay.
But again, we digress. I think you're right. Women are more okay to be on their own. Which, funny enough, when you said that parang guys need a companion, do you
Yeah.
think that's the reason why so many guys prefer dating a younger girl so that
Yan.
they can mold
Okay,
her
good.
into like, you're gonna be my little, you're gonna take care of me. I don't know, whatever.
Ganito, alam nyo kasi, pansin ko lang, different stages ng buhay ng lalaki.
Yeah.
Meron talagang nagiging preference. Kasi
Okay.
pag made ka na, kapag, you've achieved whatever you want
When
to
you're
achieve.
good, yeah.
Kaya ang nagiging tendency, younger. Kasi ang kailangan na nito, yung guy na to, alam niya na kung ano yung gusto niyang mangyari. So, kailangan niya talaga, more on yung magpapamper talaga, and so on. Walang
Pampers.
Pampers. Ito talaga eh.
Kasi younger, di ba?
Hindi naman. Hindi, I mean, kaya nagkakaroon ng malaking age gap. Di ba? Kasi ang nangyayari dyan, yung guy, ang gusto niyan talaga, yung chill. Kasi nga, I have stress na sa works, I have stress na sa career, so ang hinahanap. Pero in my case kasi, nung bata pa ako, we've been together for 8 years. Hindi ko pa alam kung who I would be. Hindi ko pa alam, no?
Yes.
So talagang syempre at that time, maganda rin talaga na kaedad mo or older than you. Kasi kailangan mo ng structure. Kinailangan ko. Hindi pala mo, kinailangan ko nun. So napakaganda rin na nangyari. Nagkaroon ng structure. Naalaman ko kung ano dapat yung gawin ko so that I can achieve whatever I want to achieve later on. Kaya nagkakaroon ng age gap. Pag matanda, nagkaka-tendency 20 plus yung babae, 60 yung lalaki o whatever, 50 plus. Kasi nga, iba na yung kung naging single for some reason yung 50 o 60 years old, iba ni hinahanap eh.
Totoo.
Yeah, that's true. I was watching Diary of a CEO recently. You guys know that podcast?
No.
Oh my God.
Yung book anyway.
There's a book, yes. But you guys know the podcast, right? He's so good. He had the Gottmans on his show recently. You know who the Gottmans are?
No.
John and Julie. Oh, okay. John and Julie Gottman are basically, I think they're psychologists.
Okay.
Let's do a fact check on that, and then you can like flash it here in the.
Okay.
They run the Gottman Institute, and they study relationships.
Okay.
They've studied, I think, I don't know what the numbers are specifically, but maybe they've conducted studies with over 70,000 couples, across different
Okay.
and they've basically come up with what makes a healthy relationship work. They were the ones, do you know bids? Have you heard of the concept of bids? They were the ones who came up with that. They were the ones who discovered that. Okay. So a bid is, in a relationship, for example, you guys are together, right?
Okay.
And then Aryn goes, babe, look at that bird. It's so cute.
Okay.
And then you're just like, and then you go, babe, look at the bird. And then you're like, yeah. Because you didn't look at that bird, that's a missed connection. And according to the Gottmans, that is usually one of, there are many, but that's one of the more important tells if a relationship is going to last for a long time or not, is if you pay attention to these bids of your partner. Because no matter how small it is, it's a bid for connection. And if you miss that, that means one of you is not paying attention to the other. And even if it's small, parang that is what, it's usually a sign.
Okay. Kasi later on, pag ikaw naman yung may nagsabi, hindi na titingnan ng partner mo.
Yes, exactly. Now I digress again. Let's go back to my original point. My bad. The Gottmans were talking about how what usually works talaga is within a certain age range.
Okay.
Because another factor that can tell you if a relationship will last long or not is if they come from more or less the same generation.
Okay.
Because you have more shared experiences, you guys have more to talk about, shared values, you grew up in kind of like the same time. So what would be like an acceptable age range for you guys, you think?
Okay, so assuming na legal age yung lahat ng mga magiging partners. Okay. I can see na mag-work kung kahit 10 years yung difference both up and down. Okay? Pero sa akin talaga, parang pag babae, no? Kapag babae, parang ang nagiging itsura in real life, no? Marami yung mas matatanda yung lalaki. Parang kung nakikita natin, mas marami ata na yung lalaki yung mas matanda kumpara sa babae. And exceptional cases lang tayo, Inka, na mas matanda yung girl kumpara sa guy. And ikaw din pala. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Kasi
So
parang
lahat
bata.
tayo ulit.
Lahat pala dito eh. Lahat na naman. So ang sa akin, okay naman yung age gap. Pero parang napapansin ko, mas parang accepted ng public na malaki mas matanda kumpara sa babae.
That's true. That's
Which is big question sa akin. Bakit kaya ganun?
Well, I think when we got used to the man leading, so it makes sense. That the man is older. But I think now the world is changing.
The world is
like there
changing.
are movies like, for example, what is that? The something of
Anne Hathaway.
Yes.
Anne Hathaway. Yeah.
Diba? She did a movie where she was the older one, and it wasn't like some weird parang perversion na where they're framing her as like
a cougar
in a bad way. It was actually told as a really nice love story.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, what's her face? Priyanka Chopra. Sorry.
Yes.
I meant her name. What's her name? Sorry. It's just the thing that I say. But
Nick Jonas.
yes,
Okay.
yes. She's 10 years older.
Okay.
Yes. But I think one of the issues is the myth of biological clock.
Correct.
Ayan. Gusto ko manggaling sa inyo, not from me. Okay.
What are your
Ayan.
thoughts on
Sige.
The biological clock.
Yeah.
It's definitely real. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. That's why people get their
I
eggs
disagree.
frozen.
Ayan.
Oh,
ayan.
really?
Ayan.
Okay. Because there are complications medically for women who are older to have children. So women tend to want children right away. That's why they put the biological clocks on themselves, basically.
Yeah.
But the topic of having children, you can really have them at any age, adopt or surrogate or whatever.
True.
But because systemically, ayan na naman tayo. Systemically, society has seen it as the women have to have children at a certain age and therefore they have to get married and have to be with someone before that age. That's why people get pressured.
Yeah.
That's why women get pressured. I'm not.
How about you?
Me.
Last ako kasi Andrew Tate ate sasabihin ko dito. Hindi. Joke lang. Sige.
So for me naman, I plan to freeze eggs just as like a reassurance for myself. But and also because I have PCOS. So I'm afraid that certain factor will come into play when I want to have a baby. But I think in general, a healthy woman without PCOS and other complications should be able to have children. And there are many stories where women are like having children later in life and they feel like it's easier for them because they're more established. They've had time to make up savings and things like that. They really feel like they've lived their lives before having a kid because they say that having a kid really completely changes everything, which obviously it does. But I think also going back, that's one of the reasons why men prefer much younger women is so they can live their life, whatever, and then they still have a young thing there who they can put a baby in when they're done.
With beautiful birthing hips.
With beautiful, but you're so young, pa. You can have a healthy baby.
Yes.
So where do we draw the line when it comes to like the yung plus minus 10?
Ganito.
Where does the law come in?
Hindi. May sabihin sana ako sa biological clock.
Go. Tama.
Sabi kasi ni Steve Harvey. Yan. Kunote natin.
Steve Harvey, the host?
Yes. Meron kasi siya, Ask Steve Harvey. Okay? Ang babae daw, may biological clock na tinatawag. Ang lalaki daw may financial clock.
Okay.
Yan ang sabi. So sabi niya, ang lalaki daw talaga, kaya ang lalaki kasi, ang sa buhay natin, sa sibilisasyon, ang lalaki daw talaga, minsan naka-quantify talaga sa ability to provide. Especially marami pong kumukonsulta sa akin. Puro lagi, asan ang suporta ng anak ko, ng live-in partner ko, umalis, hindi na kami binibigyan. Puro ganun lagi ang problem. So para ang nangyayari po talaga, kasi nga pag ganyan illegitimate yung bata, kailangan ng suporta. So kailangan talaga yung nakaanak, yung lalaki, may kakayanang magbayad. So yun, kaya parang napansin ko, kaya po ang nangyayari in real life, mas matanda yung lalaki than babae pag mag-partner.
Kasi pag-establish na.
Kasi yun, it's the career at the end of the day, especially kung hindi kayo ikakasal. Okay? So yun. On the other hand, biological clock naman yung sa girls. Kasi nga, yung mga lalaki, gustong magkaroon ng junior, ng the third, the fourth. Ako, the fourth na ako.
Oo nga,
the fourth na ako. Siyempre gusto ko ng the fifth, ng kapatid. Di ba?
I know someone who's the 13th.
Grabe naman yung the 13th.
Abutin mo doon. Pope!
Joke lang yan. Kaya I'm just saying, ang taas na ng Roman numeral.
13th, I know.
13th.
I know.
Pero ang sabi daw kasi, Yun nga, syempre gusto natin yung hindi mahihirapan mag-pregnancy. Alam naman natin yun, di ba? Syempre pag 35, 36, high risk na siya, scientifically speaking.
Actually, high risk pag 40s, past 40s.
Hindi naman 35. Mali ako. So, yun.
Yeah. Because there are new studies coming out actually. And anyway, which we already know that.
I know that the new studies, because the older studies were focused on women in the Western world.
Yes, and from before, these parang initial biological clock findings were done from data from like
way back when.
Way back when pala.
So hindi pa ganun kaganda yung medical system niya.
As in like 1800s below.
Okay.
So that's where they're getting you should have a child before 25 because usually by 30 they die from disease.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why now
okay.
with the advent
Natutunan ako today.
Yes. With the advent, there's actually an episode of Adam Ruins Everything when it comes to this topic, which which I just watched the other day or something. That's why it's so fresh in my head.
Yes.
But were you gonna say something else pa ba?
Hindi, yun lang. Yun lang naman. Kaya ang napansin ko talaga, mas malaki yung age gap tapos lalaki yung mas matanda because of this thing.
But you can't deny that there's also like some unhealthy attraction.
Yes.
But I think when it comes to kind of like religious or moral preferences, because the younger the woman is, the more likely untouched she
tama naman to. Tama naman yun.
Diba?
Isa pa yun.
Diba? Because there are so many men who think this way.
Yes.
Na parang she needs to be untouched, virginal, uncorrupted by the world, body count, ganito, ganyan. I know, it's...
Yep.
Diba? And okay, whatever body count, that's your preference. It's fine. I don't care what you like as long as you don't impose it on anybody else or make someone else feel bad about that because whatever. But there are people who have an almost unholy desire for people
Kaya
who are younger.
The better.
Diba?
Yeah, I get you.
Fresh meat. Ika nga.
Grabe.
That's disgusting.
Naging Dota anyway. Dota yun, oo. Anyway.
What does that mean? What do you mean, Dota?
Dota, hero sa Dota yun. Fresh meat sinasabi.
Talaga?
Yeah. Anyway, si Pudge. Ikaw ba? Okay. Ayan, tinatawa na yung mga tao doon. Marami tayong digress today pero pasok na pasok. Okay lang. Okay. Hero sa Dota yan. Ayan, Miss Aryn. So when is it a big deal na yung age gap ng dalawang partners?
Ako, para sa akin, age gap, like, it's a little tricky because I do know that there are people who find comfort in each other at very different ages. For example, napanood ko yung Netflix documentary ni Anna Nicole Smith. I know, it's so weird. But she married a really, really older guy.
Yeah,
diba?
she was
really
famous for that.
Guy.
Yeah.
But everyone around them said that it was really love because they were so happy with each other given their pasts.
But,
so
past life?
No, like what they've been through.
Okay.
So parang they found a perfect partner in each other. And I think that's okay because he didn't date her at a very illegal age.
Ayun, yun naman ang important.
Yeah. They found each other. She was already modeling and working and
she was
things
an
like
adult
that.
already.
She was an adult with a career.
This is why parang everyone's like, oh, what if, diba, there was a discussion recently about that school teacher.
Yeah.
Freaking A, man.
Yeah.
Bro. And he's a principal. He's a principal. Dep Ed.
Hindi, saka proud pa siya doon.
Yeah.
Yun ang okay naman sa,
Oh my.
proud siya.
So his post, I'm sorry if you're watching. I'm not really sorry. His post was like, thank you to the school for introducing me to my wife, basically. What is that?
Sana kung kapwa empleyado Okay yun, di ba?
Yes. Which is, parang when this one blew up, there were so many people who started, paano si ganito, paano si ganyan? And then I don't know if, because I know people with really big age gaps as well, if they were affected. But we're not saying the age gap itself is bad.
Yeah.
It's more the timing.
Yes.
Diba?
The age where you... When
did you meet? Like, for example, si Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah.
She met her much older husband, generations older husband, when she was at a proper age now.
Yes.
It's different when you start dating someone who is, let's say, 10 years younger than you, but you met her when she was 25.
That's fine.
That's fine. Diba? As opposed to
5.
yeah, I can't. It's like, it's so weird to me that he actually even posted about it, which tells me that he has no remorse.
Yes.
Even though he knows that he shouldn't have been engaging with her at that age. Kasi sinabi niya sa post niya, hindi pa pwede.
Yes.
Did you see his post?
Yeah. No, I did not.
Yes.
It's okay.
Okay.
But tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Yeah, but basically he was saying thank you to the school because that's where he met his future wife. And then he posts the class photo. And then he encircles, because that's her.
Itong mga batang to, uhugin pa sila,
Yes.
papatintero pa sila. Look at these kids. Look at them. Diba? Like,
Very innocent.
Very
Yes.
innocent.
Like, I don't know what there is to like about a child.
That is not attractive in any way.
Apparently, he was like in his 30s teaching here.
Yes.
And then, okay, so what if, for example, they met there, diba? Pero wala siyang ginawa. And then years later, they met when she was an older woman na.
I feel like if you have an impact on a person's growth from childhood, that's kind of weird. Diba?
Tama
Kasi
naman yun. Mahirap siya.
nag-impart siya ng education,
Mahirap.
araw-araw nagkikita sila.
Yeah.
It's,
But, okay, what if he didn't do anything to her?
I mean,
And
dapat
what if,
lang.
I mean,
Dapat lang.
no, but I
Kasi
mean,
rape yun.
Totoo yan.
Okay.
No, but like they met before, diba? He was my teacher in the 5th grade. And then we fell in love
Oo nga.
when I was an adult
Later on.
already.
Okay.
Ito.
Ayan.
Hanapin natin ang facts.
According sa post na ito, 24 na si ate nung September. And if 9 years na sila by this, it means 15 years lang po si ate naging on sila. And Sir Benedict was already 51. Since
So,
36 years age gap.
Hindi pala siya 30s. Yun yung age gap.
Yun yung age gap. Grabe. And based sa post 19 si ate nung kinasal siya, para lang maging legal age.
Wow.
That's weird.
I see posts on threads where they say if you rejoice once somebody is of legal age, that means that you've been looking at them for the longest time with
mahirap
malice already. Diba?
Parang pinoprospect mo na. Parang ganon.
You're
Meaning, if
Waiting.
legally pwedeng 14, you pursued it already. You would have.
Basically kung legal, sinabi lang ng batas natin 14, game ka na. Parang ganon.
Parang ganon yung nangyayari. If you're waiting.
But what's the law though?
Okay, sa atin ngayon, nung sa atin ngayon, dapat 16 ng age of consent. 16.
Pero may parental.
Hindi, 16. Yung, to have sexual intercourse. 16. Pwede na
With any age?
with any age.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Pero 18 yung marriage.
Okay, so 16, according to the law, pwede.
Yes, kaka-update lang niya. Dati 12.
Oh,
When was that? Oh,
If my
12.
memory serves me right, yes. If my memory serves me right, 2022 lang siya binago. Around this time. Ngayong time lang to. Before 12.
12 years old, wala pa akong
Yes.
period nun.
Totoo guys, 12 dati. Nung nag-aaral. Ano ba?
It's insane.
Marami talaga. Nung time ko na nag-aaral ako, 12 ang sabi sa amin.
Wow.
So ngayon 16 na, so inayos na, naging na tayong mas tama ngayon.
I
Ayun.
mean,
In a way.
No way.
In a way.
I mean, but I was asking about, again, we were talking about the timing. Kasi I know, again, many people who
Okay.
have big age gaps, but then they also met at an appropriate time.
Okay.
You know, when they're old enough to consent to a relationship,
Yep.
when they're old enough to be even a part of the troubles and the
Okay.
trials and the good times of a relationship.
Okay.
But what I don't like about what happened with the principal na siya ngayon. They even gave him a plaque of recognition.
Galing.
Yeah.
Promote.
Good job.
Loyalty award.
But what I don't like is, so I posted about it on Threads, and then there are even some people who were like, "Hay nako, live and let live. They're married now." So parang their point is, support na sila kasi kasal na. Tama na in the eyes of the Lord.
Okay.
So why does that have to? I think it goes back to the whole like religious prospect of this concept of this whole argument that when you're young, parang I would even say that there were some people who would argue na parang, oh, that's so sweet. She was his and his alone, untouched from the beginning.
Ay.
Diba? I mean, may ganon. But so, so when someone is married, does that mean it's correct na?
Parang na tinama na lahat ng mga pagkakamali before.
Oo.
Well, sa batas natin may ganyan din. Pag ni-rape ang isang babae pero pinakasalan niya ng rape sa kanya, wala nang crime.
I saw that
criminal
video.
liability.
Yeah, I saw that video. Yeah, it's true.
Yan din ang nasa law natin. Pero siyempre, iba yung law, iba yung morality.
Yes.
Yan naman at the end of the day. At morality, depende sa tao. Siyempre.
So, for example, because the teacher
ended up marrying her.
Wala na.
Wala na yan. Alang magiging kaso dyan. Ba't naman kasal na sila, di ba? So yun ang practical way of thinking dyan, di ba? Pero para sa akin, syempre, ang hirap kasi tama ka kung ikaw nag-educate do sa bata.
Na everyday kayo nagkikita, di ba? Everyday.
Yeah,
that's
that
how it is in
means
school.
you have power over this child.
Yun.
Diba?
Yes.
It's a power play at this point. You're able to manipulate. You are in the position to influence how they think.
Yeah.
And I think there are even some guys who word it that way, that I can mold you into my perfect partner.
Yes.
Diba? So, with that in mind, what about child brides?
Okay. What do you mean child brides?
Kasi I think there are still...
How old?
There are still practices na ganun where arranged marriages to an older man.
Yeah,
pero
I saw.
when she was a kid pa. What does the law say about that?
Okay.
Eto. In a way, Rohini was fortunate that her mother listened to her. She feared having the same fate as her 13-year-old relative who was forced to marry a 30-year-old man. The girl became ill and died? What happened?
She suspected that the girl had a miscarriage. Her body was not ready to handle the mother's task at a very young and tender age. Yun pa.
Oh my gosh. Can I just share a story? So my friend was in PGH for a while as a doctor. And one time she called me up and she was crying because she had to deliver a baby delivered by a 10-year-old. And then the women who also, it's a room where women just gave birth. And the older women are teaching her how to breastfeed and she couldn't handle it. She started crying. So she called us. And it's just a reality. It sucks and it's illegal.
Yeah.
But it's a reality and it's really shocking that happens at this point. So I would say that, that for me, personally, that
makes me so sad.
Yeah.
You know how terrifying birth is even for adult women.
Saka siya, tawag doon yung life-threatening.
Yes.
It's life-threatening. Kahit na parang nangyayari lang lagi sa Pilipinas. It's life-threatening every pregnancy.
And there are women whose hips sometimes can't even handle it. Yeah, can't handle it. A 10-year-old pa?
Yeah.
Who did that?
I know.
What kind of monster will do that to And
it's so crazy.
Oh my God, I'm feeling sick just thinking about it.
Anyway, dati sa batas natin, 14. Pwede, babae.
14?
14.
In our law?
Yeah, before. Ngayon 18 na siya. Pero before, 1988 siya na bago.
Okay.
Before 14 is allowed. Was allowed.
Wow.
And 16 for guys.
Okay.
Marriage to.
Okay. But I think back in the day, I mean, if you think about it, yung mga lolo at lola natin, they were getting married really young, right?
Really
So
yeah.
it's also a change in society, which I'm very, very thankful for.
Yeah, me too.
But I think back then, they didn't have studies to show that a 14-year-old was not cognitively able to understand what's happening.
Yeah. I think that could be it.
May siguro one factor dati, basta nagdumugo na. Alam niyo yun.
Yes.
Baka yun ang iniisip dati.
Yeah.
So baka 14.
Pwede lang magka-anak.
Yeah.
That means pwede na maging nanay.
Yeah.
Walang capacity for mental or emotional.
Baka yun ang factor before. Pero buti in-adjust ng 18. Kasi nakita nila dapat may isip na ng tama yung bata bago
Yeah.
magpakasal.
And there are so many things now na alam natin na mali, na normal dati.
Yun.
So it's kind of
That's
hard.
good. That's a good thing.
Yes. And I believe that it takes some people time to adjust. Like, for
Yeah.
example, the people who are so supportive of that teaacher and his student,
Okay.
they were, I noticed, older ones.
Ayun na nga.
Mas
Yeah.
matanda na. So to them, kasal na. Okay na yan. Dapat leave them alone. Live and let live. Parang let
They also
mo
probably
misiin kayo you
live and let live.
Sila, gusto nila yun. Ako, hindi.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
which begs the question. Oh my God, I hate asking this question.
Okay.
But it's more like a question daw of, can people love who they want to love? But I think that's dangerous territory.
Yeah, mahirap yun. Kasi kailangan mayroon pa ring morality involved, di ba?
Yes.
And legality involved pag ganyan. No?
At this day and age, at the very least, di ba?
Yes.
So, yun lang.
Yeah.
It's
Kasi
hard.
people can do whatever they want to do kasi they have to follow the government. They have to follow
Yes.
yung, di ba? Di
Yeah.
sana na lang ganun ang dialogue, di ba? I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, yeah.
The same way here, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Whoever I want to love or hindi pwede yun. Kailangan merong morality pinapasok sa mga
Yeah.
bagay-bagay. So hindi pwede para sa
Yeah. And it's very interesting. So I watched ang dami kong documentary na napanood.
I love it.
There's this one documentary. Kilala mo si Brooke Shields?
Oo.
Did you see that?
Oh, is this
Oo, kilala ko yan.
Little baby or baby girl or
baby girl?
No.
Little baby.
Does age define maturity is a question that we can ask because Brooke Shields had a momager.
Okay, mamager.
And she protected Brooke from predators in Hollywood. Which,
Okay.
okay, fine. Hindi siya ginalaw.
Okay.
However, the roles that she would accept for her child was, there
Naked.
was one, yes.
Yeah.
She played an 11-year-old prostitute. And that was a very famous, controversial movie back in the day. So if you watch this documentary, at that time, sexualization of children was normal.
Ay.
Na pinapa-makeup sila, ganon, for ads.
So it's not just in the Philippines then. It's all over the world.
It's all
Yeah.
over the world.
Yeah.
And the justification of the mom was, it's a role. It's fine. It's a role. Ganon. So when Brooke Shields talked to her children, and her children were like, Ma, we are not gonna watch that ever because it's not right. And Brooke Shields was like, why? She was trying to understand, why don't you think it's right? Because back then, it was just a role, blah, blah, blah. No, but mom, it's very uncomfortable, especially with these times. So it's really you can see the difference of how the times were before and how the times are now. That now it's really becoming, unacceptable. Hindi na pwede yun.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is what this principal cannot understand. Bilang 51 siya at that time.
At that time, ha?
At that time.
Oh my God.
Ang galing nahugot mo. Naibalik mo sa galing.
You're welcome.
Naibalik mo dun sa topic. I get what you're trying to say. Ang
Yeah.
ganda na to kasi nag-improve talaga each generation.
Thank God.
Yeah. And I think it's because we talk about it. That's why we want to talk about things like this then
Yeah.
on the podcast. We want to be able to explore different ideas because there are those who just want to leave it alone. They're like,
Yeah.
wala, basta ganyan eh, okay na yan. This is how it was before, blah, blah. But the reason why we want to talk about it and raise these kinds of issues,
Yes.
and also we want to know what your opinion is on this topic because, again, this is point of view, POV. We're not just sharing ours. We want to know yours. So
Okay.
comment here if you're,
Yes.
we're watching on YouTube right now. So whatever it is that you're thinking, please comment because we do read that. We go through the comments and reply. Let us know what you think. But yeah, it's important to talk about it because then we get to ask questions like, why? Why does this happen? Why do we need to change it? And then answers come up because we need to protect children. Why do we need to protect children? Because they're not old enough to make these decisions. And what happens when we expose them to certain traumas or no. What happens when we expose them to situations where they're not old enough to experience this? It affects their development.
Yes.
And it impacts the way they grow up. Instead of growing up healthily, a part of them is damaged. And we want to make sure that these children grow up to be as healthy and as balanced as possible, which is the reason why also these conversations happen. This is the reason why humans are living longer now.
Yes.
Diba? And people are getting smarter. People are like, humanity is advancing, because this is all a part of
Okay.
okay.
It's all a part of...
Yeah, because it's all a part of like how we
That's how you
improve.
improve.
Yeah.
Kasabi pa tayo. How you improve.
Yes, yes.
May mga bagay na pwede mong iwanan. May mga bagay na kailangan mo na iwanan. May mga bagay na kailangan kang i-retain.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
like pagiging respectful sa magulang. Okay, di ba? We retain those. Pero may
Yeah,
mga
yeah.
bagay na kailangan nating iwanan sa nakaraan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kasi
Well, speaking of that, because going back to the principal,
Yeah.
one of the reasons why there are so many supportive people in their life is because pinayagan naman ng tatay.
Ayun
Ay,
lang.
patay tayo dun.
Oo. Pero okay naman sa tatay eh. So, dapat okay lang. So, how far does the parents' influence go in terms of your relationship?
Maganda.
That's a good question.
Yung question sa akin, pag dapat may role talaga yung magulang sa sino yung makakamit na. Especially pag ganyan mga batang edad.
Yeah.
Pero para sa akin talaga, ako napaka-conservative ko naman. No? Dapat talaga adult pag nag-start. Magkaroon ng relationship. No? Kaya mag-alala, binasted ako dati. Busted ako lagi dati. Hindi ako nagkaroon. Okay. Adult na ako na nagkaroon. Para sa akin maganda pag adult na. So kung adult ka na, di kahit ano say mo, okay. Kasi ikaw yun eh. Di ba? You don't have
Fully
to-
formed na yung
Fully formed na. So
brain
whether
mo.
may support ng magulang mo o wala, go with it. Go ahead pala. Ayun.
True.
Ngayon
What do
kayo,
you
baka
think?
naman nagkaroon kayo ng
I
boyfriend.
had boyfriends in high school.
Pati na-
And
Kamusta yun?
honestly, I don't count them. When I think about my relationships, it just so happens na kung nakikita ko sila, ay, ex ko yun in high
Alam
school.
ba ng magulang mo na nagka-boyfriend ka
Yes,
naman?
because they were very supportive. Like for prom, let's say kami yung mag-date sa prom. Okay, bibilhan ng
get
corsage. You know, the cute little things from high school relationships. However, if I were 15 and then the guy going for me was 28, di papayag yung magulang ko. Hindi talaga.
You know that happened to me before. When I was
Sige nga.
16, there
Okay.
was an older guy who, and now that I think about it, before I was remembering it and I was like, oh my God, was I groomed? Kasi,
Legal na yan eh.
16 eh. I was 16. But before, I met this guy and I was so infatuated with him because he was like a rock star type and he was like, hey, watch my gigs. And he was like 28.
Banda.
28. I was 16.
I would have fallen for that also.
He had long hair. I was like, wow.
Bad boy.
Oh, I was like, damn, cute. And then he would like text me like, you should read this book. You should read this book.
Oh,
and I'm
diba?
like, okay, I want to impress him. So like, yeah, sure, I'll read it. And I did. And he would text me things like, I wish I could just lay naked with you.
Wow.
Medyo mali yan.
And I was like, oh, okay. I was like 16, right? And I'm like, I have the attention of like this older man. Oh my God. And then I would go, okay. And then he goes, but I can't do anything more than that because you're still 16. So alam niya.
Ooh.
So when I was thinking about that before, and I think this is one of the things that I need to talk to my therapist about, by the way. If you're watching, Doc, let's discuss. Oh my God, was I groomed?
You were.
Definitely.
You were groomed.
Was I groomed?
It's crazy, no? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Sa akin naman, adult ka na. Di ba dapat, yung within the age, tama naman yung jowain mo na. Wag naman yung gano'n na 16 in this case.
Kasi, from what I see, in the point of view of older men, when they go for younger guys, younger girls, alam kasi nila na, makukuha ko to. But anyone with an actual brain, maybe the reason why he's going for these young girls is because any woman with an actual brain will be like, you know.
Yeah. Parang may gullible pa. Pag ano.
Oh my God.
Pero you need to talk about that. Kasi,
And I also when I used to play like online games, isa pa to ha, online games,
Yeah.
this happens a lot because it happened to me. Oh my God, was I groomed twice?
Grabe naman.
Oh, dito na linalabas. Are you okay?
Ang
How do
dami
you feel?
exposure.
I feel like I need to...
Okay, so Inka, we've discussed.
Oh my God. Okay, so when I was around 14, I used to play this online game.
Even younger.
Even younger. I used to play this online game. And it was an online role-playing game. Kind of like things like Ragnarok, ganon. Pero wala pang graphics na ganon kaganda dati.
Okay.
Right.
So this was like a text-based RPG, MMORPG. And then there was a supporting forum where the different players would be able to interact with each other, do role play for their... Because in this game, you play a warlord and you are in command of your fleet. And then every 30 minutes, the game resets, and then you get like a certain amount of gold depending on how powerful you are and what level you are. And one of the players there, I ended up becoming really good friends with, and I was talking to him a lot, and he would write me love letters, and he would tell me about what we would do when I would go there because he's from the States. This was a game mostly in the States. There were very few Filipino players in this game. I was 14, he was 25.
Twice.
I was groomed twice.
Oh my God. So it just shows that it's not
so-
normal, but like it happens.
common.
Happens a lot.
Oh my God, my heart's beating so fast. We're having breakthroughs here,
Yeah.
guys. I was hi, I'm Inka Magnaya, and I was groomed twice.
Yeah.
But this is also just to be careful, just a word of warning to parents, okay? I
Yes.
think this would be a good thing to take away from this episode. Just make sure to have a good relationship with your kids.
Yep.
Throwing it back to episode 2, the reason why you want to be able to establish good trust with your kids is because you want to make sure that they can tell you everything.
Yes. Including these things.
Including these things. I think the only reason why things didn't progress a lot with that man in the US and the guy here was because I would tell my mom about it.
See?
Very nice.
I was open to my mom
It could
about
have
these
been
things.
different.
Yeah, and props to my mom. She didn't show me that she freaked out.
Yeah.
And
You would have at this point. You would have.
I would have like,
Yeah.
but my mom and my dad also, because I told them about it, and then they would just be like, okay. And then they would, now that I think about it, they would find ways to make me do something else.
Okay.
Or every time that guy would invite me out, they would plan something else around that. Just
okay.
really make sure that they guided me.
Okay.
But because they established a good relationship with me of trust, I know that they won't hurt me. I trusted them.
Yeah.
I was so open enough to tell them about it, and they didn't judge me for it. I never felt like I was in trouble because I wasn't. I was the minor.
Yeah.
I'm not the
Hindi
one
mo
in the
alam na
wrong.
may ginagawa ng masama pala sa'yo.
Correct. So they never made me feel like I was wrong. They protected me, and I think that's why I believe so much in gentle parenting. And remember, gentle parenting is not permissive parenting.
Correct.
It's just being gentle enough so you know that your parent will not hurt you, so you can trust them and tell them anything. And because you never know. Like, these places supposedly safe for kids. I was playing a game lang. That
may ganun
girl was
pala.
just in school.
Yeah.
May ganun pala.
Yes.
How about in your
yes.
case, may ganun ka bang experience?
Actually, I got that.
Wala
what
kasi
I
may
said.
type sa akin eh.
Yeah.
Kaya wala.
Kasi hindi ka tumitingin sa mga bata. Which is great. Give me
Hindi
five.
Nung bata ako, ibig ko sabihin, walang may type sa akin.
Gets. Kasi uhugin ka siguro.
Yun na.
Yung may
Plus
bimbo
more.
dito.
Plus
may
more.
pulbos, di ba? Parang,
Plus.
di ba?
Ay! May sapi sa likod yung yung puting towel. Patay.
When you go inside after playing,
Tapos ilalagay mo
Yeah.
yung t-shirt sa aircon para
Wala talaga.
matuyo, tapos kunin mo ulit.
Hindi ako cool. O ikaw, malamang.
Okay, so remember what I said earlier about older men going for younger girls because women their age won't necessarily like them. I got that from my mom when I was dating this 17 years older than me guy.
Ang sabi?
Ganyan niya. Like, she wouldn't say no. She wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
But she'd be like, well, you know, at his age, kind of weird that he's going for someone your age. Maybe women his age don't see the appeal. And I'd be like, So that kind of woke me up also. And I remember nung nag-split kami with this guy, nobody thought of me as the bad person. Because bata ako noon.
Oo, mas older kasi
Diba?
siya.
So everyone was more like,
There you go. Tama
Wato,
lang.
dapat lang.
Dapat lang. Parang nag-split kayo, okay.
Tama
that
lang.
phase has finished. Parang
That's good.
Yeah. I had good adults around me.
Same.
So
I'm sure
yun
you
yan.
did too. Baka that's why wala talagang nakalapit sa'yo.
Hindi.
Hindi talaga.
Kahit na walang adult, walang lalapit.
Ganun si June dati.
Kahit walang adult, walang lalapit talaga. I know myself. Wala talaga.
When an older woman.
Maitim kasi lig ko. Kasi mataba ako eh. So ngayon, iinom sa drinking fountain, di ba?
Dude,
Pag may dadating
were you the kid na didikit yung lips niya sa
Ay, hindi.
drinking fountain?
Insecure ako nung pagyuyoko ako. Kasi makikita yung bato ko nung nasa likod eh.
So anong gagawin mo? Ganun.
Hihintayin ko muna, kayo na muna mauna. Tapos ako sa huli. Di ba? So kung nakita akong crush ko nun, tapos naka-PE, kitang-kita yung liig ko, may kwintas ako eh. Shit, ano na ako nun? Gano'n na, insecure. Kaya wala talagang magkaka-type sa akin. Kaya wala ako experience na gano'n. So,
Which is good.
Which
Yeah.
is
So
good.
children,
Good naman yan.
stay uhugin. Be children.
Yeah.
Pawisan kayo. You know,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
Do
Stop
that.
wanting to grow up
Yeah.
too fast kasi
be innocent.
yes. Remain in your childhood. I
Yes.
think that was so my message to parents is just make sure you have a good relationship with them.
Yes.
Because you'll never know who can be hovering around your child. So you want to be able to establish a good relationship with your child so that they feel safe enough to tell you.
Yes.
And to kids, to teens, please don't try to grow up too fast.
Don't. It's
Kasi-
not that great up here.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's
okay.
There's a time and a place for
Yes.
everything.
Yes. You will become an adult eventually. So there will be a time for that. Now is your time to be a child.
Yes.
Be a child.
Yes.
Because you will want these
Yeah.
memories for you when you grow up. Because God knows we spend so much time remembering our childhood.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
Huwag kayo
God.
magmadali.
Yeah.
I actually saw this meme where there was this kid who was acting so weird around their parents. Tapos nakalagay, if your kid can be as weird as they want to be,
Oh,
that
yeah,
means
yeah.
they're in a safe place.
Oh, that's good.
So yun
Yes.
talagang,
Like weird, ano
Yeah.
talaga, yeah.
Okay.
ganon. So
Yeah.
let your kids stay like that.
Yes, amen. Let us know what you guys think of this episode. We'd love to get your point of view. And don't forget to follow us across all our socials. Please subscribe also to MU Entertainment because
What's up?
this is where we will be coming out with all of the episodes and across our social media channels also. Did I get that right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
See, I'm attorney Anselmo.
And I'm Aryn Cristobal.
And I am Inka Magnaye, and this has been
POV.
Ano ba to?
POV. Point of view.
Ay, dito pala. Dito
yes.
pala.
This has
Okay.
been...
Okay, and this has been Point of View.